Hello everyone, Silent here and welcome back to another Bugrock of the Week episode. Today is going to be a little bit different from our normal episode. Today we're going to be taking a look back at the previous 29 episodes or 29 weeks of Bugrock and seeing what bugs so far have been fixed and what other major issues still remain to be fixed. The main point of this series was always to bring light to the issues of the Bedrock Edition platform so that those watching the series could avoid them or potentially use them to their advantage, while also gaining support for the bugs so that the developers could have an easier time fixing them, overall making the platform slightly better, and so far Bugrock has accomplished that goal. So how exactly have we accomplished our goal? Well, besides me just showing you the bugs and what you can do with them and then letting you guys just have free reign with them, of course, there is also the bug tracker. The bug tracker is the main way that everyone watching these videos has influenced actually getting these bugs fixed or partially fixed on this platform. If you're not aware, in every single episode that I make, I always have a bunch of bug report links in the description of the video, and you guys just kind of go over to the bug tracker, make yourself a little bit of an account, and then from there you can upvote the bug reports, which gets them a lot more attention from the developers, tells the devs that the community does care about seeing these things fixed and that it is actually important. So another thing that you can do on the bug reports is actually leave a comment on them as well. If you tell them what platform you're playing on and you've seen it on that platform, or if you just leave some additional information on the bug report, all of that seriously does help get these bugs fixed. So that is like the main way that we have really had an impact on the development cycle of Bedrock Edition. I think I've rambled for just about enough in this episode, so let's take a look at all the bugs that we as a community have helped gotten fixed on this platform, shall we? There are kind of a few, so we're going to run through all these bugs in chronological order that I covered them in this series, and I'll also throw up some footage from the actual episodes of these bugs in action. So the next issue is of course lossy crafting. So basically whenever you had a full inventory and you tried to craft a stack of items, that entire stack of items would basically just get deleted and was super terrible. It really ruined mass crafting. Like you couldn't break a double chest and then craft all the items into other items because everything would just get deleted. Was really terrible. Super good one to have fixed. While you may not have noticed it, for the longest time, the looting enchantment never affected shulkers, so they would always drop the same minuscule amount of shells no matter how you killed them. This actually just got fixed as of 1.11, so now they drop the proper amount of shells if you kill them with looting 3, which is super nice. Another really weird, albeit useful bug was that withers used to not be able to break pretty much any block. This includes a slime block, so you could literally capture them inside of slime blocks and just keep them there, which is really ridiculous, but really useful as well for beacon factories. I made a tutorial on that, of course, because why wouldn't you? But yes, this was eventually fixed. This bug also came with a whole bunch of pathfinding and AI issues, but overall pretty awesome bug to be fixed because they were pretty much completely broken. Now this bug isn't technically completely fixed, however it has mostly been fixed, just not for all mobs. So it used to be that all kinds of passive mobs could basically spawn on any block in the entire game. So for instance, you would have mobs spawning on top of your skyscraper in the middle of an ocean, or like just literally anywhere that you wouldn't expect them to normally. You would have like a horse or like a chicken just spawning there. Super annoying bug, but this has for the most part been fixed for most mobs in the game. Probably the most devastating bug of the entire Bugrock series thus far is the end gateway portals corrupting part of the end dimension. So basically what would happen is that anytime you would generate part of the end city islands before going to that area using this specific end gateway from the main island, the gateway would basically corrupt that area of the outer islands. Kind of confusing and complex, but it happened to thousands and thousands of people. No real way to fix it without using world edit to delete the area. Really big issue, and yeah, really good bug to no longer have to worry about. So this was a pretty rare but deadly bug. It used to be that depending on how your bed was oriented and what blocks were around it in the world, whenever you respawned on that bed after dying, the bed would basically instantly drop you from world height or just in other ways kill you, making it so that the next time you respawn, you just get stuck in an infinite death loop Pretty terrible bug. It was pretty rare to happen. However, it's a thing that doesn't really exist anymore. They did a lot of reworking to make beds not do this. By far the most annoying and blatantly obvious in-your-face bug we have had in recent Bedrock Edition updates is the inventory lag. So basically what would happen is if you had any form of shulker box or enchanted item in your entire inventory and you pressed your open inventory button, basically the entire game would freeze from client-side lag, and then up to about a minute later your actual inventory would open. The entire inventory face would be very laggy as well. No idea how this didn't get caught before the update came out, but it lasted for an entire update, which was pretty terrible. So as you can see, as a community, we have really helped make this platform much better simply by going over to the bug tracker and just showing some support over there, talking to the developers, and just talking about these bugs in general. Seriously does help get this platform improved, which is really awesome. The developers do care. They just need to know what bugs we care about the most so that they can prioritize what bugs they can fix in every update, because you know they don't have infinite amounts of time. They need to prioritize what things they should work on, and of course community feedback is a major part of that prioritization. On that note of community feedback, I would like to take this opportunity to remind you guys of the biggest, most game-breaking, in-your-face bugs on the Bedrock Edition platforms, things that really need to be fixed, and of course there will be links to all of these bug reports down in the description of the video for you to upvote and leave a comment on. Probably the most important bug to most of you playing today is the fact that more mobs than just creepers and spiders spawn underneath trapdoors. This essentially breaks creeper-only farms, a thing that Bedrock Edition very much so needs. Creeper-only farms have been a thing that literally everyone has asked for years, and they finally kind of gave us the feature for it, but the feature is completely broken. So yeah, massive bug that still needs to be fixed. Another big bug that affects technical gameplay, especially with villagers, is that villagers that go to another dimension basically do not unlink from beds, whereas typically they would unlink from their bed, allowing another villager to claim it, and this basically breaks infinite villager breeders along with a lot of other villager tech as well. A super annoying and deadly one is that sometimes when you die or leave the end dimension, Ender Dragons can basically duplicate, and I don't know if you fought the Ender Dragons on the Bedrock Edition, but they're already pretty broken and overpowered, especially with the Dragon Breath issues that there are, but 2 Ender Dragons is pretty difficult to defeat, especially if you are playing solo, so a serious issue that really needs to be fixed and has been around for ages. One of the most terrible bugs on the entire platform at the moment is that withers can become invisible and immortal at the same time. Basically, the only way to kill them at this point is to throw them into the void, which might work, set it to peaceful mode, or use kill commands, none of which are really an option for those playing on realms most of the time. So yeah, pretty easy bug to reproduce and have happen to you in your world, and then there's basically nothing that you can do about it. One of the biggest issues that desperately needs fixing. If you've played on Realms at all in the last 7 months, you may have seen these unloaded chunks appear in your world, where basically nothing is really loaded, but you can still enter the chunk, and sometimes you'll just die randomly from entering the chunk as well. Pretty crazy issue that only happens on Realms and is just really kind of a big deal. So there are of course a lot more issues that have been fixed in the previous 7 months since we launched this series, and a lot more big issues that I'd like to bring to light in this episode as well, but I do try and keep these videos short and snappy to not bore you guys to death with all of the bugs, and sometimes, you know, you just gotta keep the bug infestation at bay, you know, keep it over there, a little bit of far away. You don't want to get overrun with bugs. But of course, if you do want to see these big bugs that I showcased in today's video fixed, then visit the description, visit the bug reports, create yourself an account if you need to, and upvote the bug report, or, you know, leave a comment on them as well if you've experienced it on your platform, or if you have additional information, or just want to help confirm the bug. Leaving comments and upvoting is a massive way to make a difference. And thank you all so very much for all of the support on the bug tracker over these previous 30 weeks of Bugrock. I hope you enjoyed today's special episode of Bugrock of the Week. 30 weeks in the making. I figured it was time to do a little bit of a roundup episode for all the big things that we have fixed and all the big things that still need to be fixed as well. So hopefully you enjoyed. Of course, thank you all so much for the support on the series. Here is to another 30 weeks as well. Hopefully you guys keep on enjoying. Hopefully we keep on finding some new and interesting bugs to cover, and hopefully we keep on making an impact on the Bedrock edition as well. If you did enjoy this episode, be sure to share it around with others so that they can as well. Maybe leave a like on the video, as it does help out the video and the channel significantly. And if you're new here and you want to see all the new episodes, then of course be sure to subscribe, and there will also be a link to the series playlist down in the description in case you want to check out any of the old episodes of Bugrock of the Week. But thank you all very much for watching. I will see you down in the comment section and in the next one. And then there was silence.